The Trump administration has deported hundreds of immigrants to El Salvador, even though a federal judge had ordered to temporarily halt these deportations. Well, this happened under a very controversial law from the 18th century that Trump used to justify removing Venezuelan gang members from the US. But the question is, why did the government break the law? Let's break it down into simple terms. On Saturday, US District Judge James E. Bosberg issued an order to stop deportations. However, by the time the order was given, two planes carrying immigrants were already in the air. One heading to El Salvador and other one heading to Honduras. The judge verbally told officials to turn the planes around, but that wasn't written in his official order. So the planes continued their journey and the immigrants were deported. Let me make it very clear here that the White House has clearly denied ignoring the judge's ruling. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stated that the court order was baseless and that the deportations had already happened before the ruling took effect. A lot of people are asking what law did Trump use to deport them. Trump used an old law called the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which has only been used 3 times in United States history. During the War of 1812, World War I and World War II. This law allows the president to deport or detain foreigners if the country is at war. Trump justified its use by claiming that the US is currently in a war against dangerous migrant groups. Smart move, right? His administration specifically targeted the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua, which started inside Venezuelan prisons and had expanded to other countries as well. The gang is involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes. Trump claimed that this group was invading the US and used this as a reason to deport people. But interestingly, let me tell you, this is where things get very controversial. The Trump administration did not provide any public proof that the deported immigrants were actually members of the gang. There were also reports that 2 members of the Salvadoran gang MS-13 were included in the deportation flight. But human rights group warned that many innocent Venezuelans could have been mistakenly targeted just because they are from Venezuela. Adam from the Washington Office for Latin America warned that under this particular rule, any Venezuelan migrant in the US could be accused of being a gang member and deported without a fair trial. El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, agreed to house about 300 migrants in his country's prison for 1 year, costing about $6 million. The government also released a video showing shackled men being led off the planes, forced to kneel on the ground, shaved bald, and dressed in prison uniforms. They were taken to CECOT, a very high security mega prison that Bukele built as part of his anti-gang crackdown. Bukele even mocked the US court ruling, posting "oopsie, too late" on social media, implying that judge's decision came after deportation and already taken place. For now, judge's order blocks deportation for next 14 days while legal challenges continue. The Department of Justice has appealed the particular ruling, but it also said that it will not use Trump's order for more deportations until and unless the court decision is overturned. The key issue is that Trump's declaration relies on a law that has never before been used outside of an officially declared war. Legal experts argue that he might have exceeded his presidential power. A hearing is scheduled for Friday to determine what happens next. Well, this case is significant for several reasons. If Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act is upheld, future presidents could use it to deport migrants from specific countries without proof of crimes. Secondly, many of those who are deported may not be criminals. Yes, they were sent to dangerous prisons with no chance to defend themselves. Thirdly, this particular move signals a more aggressive approach to immigration enforcement, which could affect thousands of Venezuelans living in the US. For now, the fate of these deported is uncertain, and the legal battle continues. Will the court reinstate the deportation ban, or will Trump's policies stand? We'll have to wait for the next hearing to find this out.